Welcome to Top Step Funded Trader Interview. I'm Eddie Horn, and today we've got Joey. Joey, one of our newest funded traders, and he's going to be with us to share his journey from the trading combine to the funded account. But before we get to that point, I just want to give you a reminder here. Pencil sharpened, ink in your pen, because it's always good to take notes from somebody that has seen success, that is successful. And hey, that can always help you down the road. So without further ado, Joey, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you very much for asking. And thank you very much for taking the time out to come on here and talk to our traders and share your journey here with Top Step. Since we're going to dive into this, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm 32. I had gotten introduced to trading about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And I knew a couple of buddies of mine were into it, and it had sparked my interest. And so I started just trying to teach myself and really wanted to dive into it. I work from home, so it's easy for me to watch the markets. I just like to pay attention to it throughout my day. And so I tried to spend time learning as much as I could before diving into it.
All right. So you said you got some buddies. You got some buddies that sort of piqued your interest. Yeah. What was the sort of the apex of saying, oh, hey, I want to do this?
I think for me, it was one, I've always been a hustler. I've always enjoyed having side income, and I've had side income all my life, essentially. So I think when I learned about trading and the stock market, it sparked my interest because I really enjoy the freedom of it. And being able to be here at home and ultimately learn a new skill that could provide that side income for me and my family as well.
Awesome. How about education, training, anything that you've sort of reached out to make yourself a better trader?
As far as education, when I first got started, I really didn't have any. I really kind of learned the hard way and of losing money. I dove in head first. Ultimately, I learned a lot of hard lessons when I did that. So my education kind of came by doing, which I think is a great way to learn. However, in the stock market, there's other better ways to learn than putting your own money up at risk at first. But my education kind of came from by doing, and then also just by YouTube, watching different YouTube channels on stocks, watching different traders online, seeing how they traded. I did actually purchase a course from another trader that had a very basic level foundation for trading, and so I did purchase that. But I ultimately gained most of my knowledge and experience by doing it.
All right. It's the old trial and error. Monkey see, monkey do. I mean, that's
exactly
basically, what got me, off my butt, on my feet, and, moving forward. It's a test of time. So you got to put the filter on and move with it.
Yep.
Now, 100%. What are you trading? And I want to know why. We all want to know why. What are you trading?
So I started in stocks. And I started swing trading. Currently, I'm swing trading TQs, TQQQ, and SQQQ, which correlates with the NASDAQ. That's my swing trading side. Right now, I've been kind of focusing on that. But on the day trading side, I primarily focus on trading the futures, which is the NASDAQ itself. But when I first started, I originally got into swing trading different stocks, and that was my bread and butter. As I started to learn and gain experience, at first I did lose money, like I said, but as I gained experience, I started finding myself into becoming profitable in swing trading. And so that has been my bread and butter until I got into day trading futures.
You mentioned the NASDAQ. Mm-hmm. It's a quick market.
It is very fast. Yeah.
Are you the type of pedal to the metal guy? I need volume. I need action. I need movement.
I would say so. Yeah, I do like the quicker movements. I have traded the S&P. It is a bit slower than the NASDAQ, but I do find myself enjoying the quicker movements more and the more aggressive style of trading. But with that said, also being able to manage risk at the same time. With the NASDAQ, it's very easy to lose discipline and get undisciplined when trading the NASDAQ just because of how fast it does move. P&L swings are huge on the NASDAQ. So I do enjoy the quicker movements, but I do also try to keep myself grounded at the same time.
You will know if you are right, and you will know if you are wrong right away when you're trading the NASDAQ. So
100%.
Let's talk about the TopStep process.
Sure.
how long have you been with TopStep?
It's actually a really good question. I was trying to think back on this. I've been with TopStep for, I want to say, maybe a year. I have done a couple combines, and I have had multiple resets. I was that guy where I had multiple resets as I was learning to day trade futures. But I think at the end of the day, like, I wasn't going to give up. I knew that there was no matter how much money I spent, I knew that ultimately this was going to help me get to my end goal. So I was willing to put up the money to continue to reset if I had to learn the discipline, learn the skills that I needed to. But I went through a couple 50K combines with TopStep. And then I actually earned a funded 50K combine, but did lose it. That was my very first run at day trading futures. But I kind of found my ground on where I sit comfortably as far as like discipline, skill set, mindset, handling emotions in the micro side of things. So I tried the micro account and then was able to get it funded. That's been kind of my journey with TopStep so far.
I mean, of course, there's management and patience and so forth, but passion and desire is really that backbone that keeps pushing you, keeps telling you, hey, you know what? Keep plugging, man. You're taking, even if it's baby steps, each day you learn something new. And I've been in the business for a long time, and I can honestly say that I learn something new every day, and there is no end to that at all. So that's a good thing. Now, with your trades and how you're doing, how about indicators? Can you share with us what indicators, what you look at charts, how you trade it?
Yeah. So believe it or not, I actually don't use very many indicators. I'm purely price action. However, I do watch the cumulative delta just to see the aggression of buyers and sellers. But that's really about it as far as indicators that I use. I really just, I look at the chart as a whole and see where we're at, where we've been, where we could potentially go and trade purely off price action.
Okay. Now, it's helped you, obviously. It's got you to the funded account. Was there some time where you sort of dropped indicators or used indicators at all and said, hey, you know what, this isn't working for me. I need to find another venue?
Not really. No. I mean, I guess I will say I do have VWAP on there as well. I do watch that as well. I left that out, but that's really about it. But I just never, as far as indicators go, outside of VWAP and cumulative delta, I really just never found that the others made me a better trader. I guess I don't like depending on indicators as much as I do just the overall direction of the market. So that's really just what I try to pay attention to. And I have used indicators in the past, and I just found they didn't make me the trader I wanted to be.
Well, it all really depends on your style, and you sort of dialed it in and making it work for yourself, which is fantastic.
Yeah. And that's not to say to not use indicators. I mean, every trader is different. Everybody's going to have their own style of trading, and definitely use what works best for you.
Exactly. How about your strengths? What are your strengths in trading?
Strengths is I'm very good at handling emotions. I come from a marketing background where I managed a lot of money for multiple businesses in the online space, where, I would spend anywhere from, 6 figures a month in ad spend for businesses. And when you handle that amount of money, there can be big swings in results. So I really learned how to manage my emotions from the beginning, just from my marketing experience. I was able to carry that over with me to trading. So I really don't get emotional in trading. I try to stay as logical as I can and work purely off the data I see versus trading off hope or trading off emotion or trying to let the market get to me. So it's purely off data and what I see in front of me.
I have traders ask me that question, and I'm like, well, think like a robot. Just you just have to react. It's, emotions can hijack your account, and
absolutely can.
Before you know it, you're in a hole. You're digging that hole deeper and deeper. How about the other end of that spectrum? What are your weaknesses?
My weaknesses I would say that I have worked on and gotten better at is position size. In the past, I have struggled with going too large on a position size. And when I'm trying to stay disciplined on a certain amount of drawdown, right? When I have a certain daily loss or a weekly loss, sometimes my position size can get me a little bit too close to that barrier. That's something that I've really just kind of been putting a lot of focus into now. Since I've been able to handle emotions really well, I constantly am trying to get better at position size, knowing when to add. I try not to add to losers. I always try to add to winners. But sometimes I can get a little bit more aggressive on that than I should. So for me, it's position size.
Okay. All right. Now we've got a lot of traders listening and taking notes and so forth, and got a lot of new traders out there that are being the sponge, absorbing what you're saying, and hopefully it helps them down the long run. But what are some words of wisdom that you would share with a new trader?
One, I would say, take your time. You have all the time in the world, right? You have all the time. So don't think that you have to jump in and make, $500, $1,000, $2,000 a day just immediately. Focus on, I would say, really try to focus on the small, consistent gains that will ultimately help you reach your end goal, whatever that may be, whether that's being a full-time trader or providing more for your family, or just really just trying to increase your income. Focus on the small, consistent gains. That's ultimately, those compile very quickly, quicker than you may think. And I think the bigger focus should be, one, becoming a better trader and focusing on the skill set of trading versus trying to just get rich quick. I think a lot of traders jump in and think, man, like I want to make all this money really, really fast. And they think very, very short term versus playing the long game of trading. And I think if you can shift your mindset from the short term and focus on what trading can actually do for the long term, right then and there, if you can make that switch, you'll become a better trader. I think that'll allow you to become more disciplined. But I would also say, don't be afraid to start by simulation trading first, learning the skill set of trading. I learned the hard way, where I did put my own money up at risk at first, and I did lose. And I think that taking the first of a simulation trading, learning whatever it is you want to trade, learning how that market moves and learning the P&L swings, learning position sizes, learning that discipline and simulation trading is going to help you tremendously when you transition over to using real money. So I would say, don't stop learning, focus on the skill versus the money. I think if you can do that, then the money is going to follow.
That is some positive gold information. Perfect. I mean, this is things that all traders need to remember, new traders need to learn. And, it's not about hitting home runs. It's about getting on base and scoring runs. It's like the short term, the smaller profits, they add up. Before you walk the tightrope, you got to build the net. You need that safety factor. And you nailed it. And this is why we do see traders succeeding, is because they remember these things and they use them to their advantage. So, well done. Excellent. Let's talk about qualities. Now, you got some excellent qualities, Joey. What do you think qualities that do make a good trader?
I would say the willingness to learn and to keep pushing and not give up. I think too many traders, or too many new traders, they give up too easily because it's pretty consistent to see failure in the beginning of trading. Right. But if you have that motivation, that ambition, you can go a long way in this field if you just don't give up and you keep pushing. So one, I think ambition is a great quality to have, and constantly being motivated. But two, I would say the open-mindedness of knowing when you're wrong and how to correct when you're wrong. Being open-minded in that sense, I would say, is a huge skill that I think a lot of traders should have for themselves. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I would say that trading is really a skill set that you develop personally, like for you. I would say as like a personality, I almost want to say like a personality trait, because you kind of feed into trading personally like that. The more ambition you can have, the more motivation you can have, the more open-minded you can be about your losses and what you can do to correct those, I think the better you're going to be as a trader. And those are really big qualities to have.
You have to be open-minded. You have to be willing to change or fine-tune or update. The market isn't just, each day it's different. So, this is something that you need to have in your arsenal is, the willingness
Yeah, and
to make change.
to go even deeper on that, it's kind of like I almost look at trading as like a battle with yourself versus the market, because your mindset kind of it can take control of you in trading, and so you're almost battling yourself versus what the market's actually doing. So the more you can develop yourself as as like a trader, a person, the more that will feed into your trading.
Right, and that's the worst thing you can do is get down on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of negative that you can flip and make it positive. If you get stopped out, man, it hit my stop, and then it did a 180 and went. But here's the thing. I mean, you called that level. I mean, you knew something there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people take that negative, but if you could turn things around like that, journey's going to be much smoother. Now, has TopStep made you a better trader?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Again, I came from swing trading stocks, and when I got introduced to futures, it was by just another YouTuber that I saw trading futures, and it really sparked my interest. And when I came into, I originally tried trading futures before joining TopStep, and it did not go well for me. 100% did not go well. And so then I joined TopStep, and through my experience with trading trading with TopStep, I was able to really experience the market swings, the P&L swings, I should say, and really find my ground on what market I wanted to trade, whether it was the S&P 500, whether it was NASDAQ. I was able to find where I wanted to put my focus, but also at the same time, the discipline on the drawdowns, I think is huge. Because it can be easy to try to revenge trade for a lot of people. And when you have those rules set in place that when you hit your max drawdown, like that's it, I think is a huge mindset. And it may take a couple of times hitting that max drawdown for you to really just realize, okay, this is actually a good thing. And so, because a lot of people can lose that amount of money, it's like, take, for instance, a real account with real money. Someone could lose that max drawdown and think, I can't have this. Like, I need to get this back, and then try to revenge trade. And then they end up losing a lot more than they originally did. So I think the discipline aspect of TopStep has really, really pushed me forward as a trader. Not only in trading, like even just discipline in general. I think it's been massive.
A lot of traders are, why don't you get rid of that daily loss limit?
It's like, I do see that a lot. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, it's going to keep you in the game. There's a reason for that. I mean, on the trading floor, a lot of traders, I mean, they didn't have that loss limit. Mentally, they did.
Yeah.
And sometimes they totally forget it. And you'd walk out of the building deeper in the hole that you wanted to be. Even if you can accept a losing day.
Yep.
You're like, oh my God, what did I do? So, I mean, a limit, if you can adopt that, even outside of TopStep, where it's a shutoff, and it's not an option, it's not a choice, it's a shutoff. Yeah. And you're going to be walking away a lot better with that.
It also helps to trade for tomorrow too. I think a lot of traders get too caught up on trading for like the now and today, that they forget about tomorrow. And having those in place help you stay trading even on the days that you lose. So I think it's just important to think about, tomorrow and trading for then instead of trading for now.
Well said. Well said. Very well said. Joey, what do you like most about TopStep?
I would say that I'm probably going to go against what a lot of people may think, because we already kind of touched on it, but I am going to say the rules. It took me a minute to understand them and why they're there, but they are there for a reason. And while some people have disagreed with some of the rules, and some people ask the question, why are they there? Well, they're there to help you become a better trader. And I'm always one to constantly try to push forward and grow at whatever and give whatever I'm doing my all. And so I'm always trying to learn new things and experience new things. And so I would say that the rules that are in place have helped me grow tremendously. And so I got to say that's probably my favorite thing, is just the discipline aspect of it. And the wanting to help traders become a good trader, which has helped me. So
that's all good stuff. That's all quality. Positive. Joe, you're a very positive person.
I am. And you gotta be positive, man. Especially if you want to trade the markets, you gotta be a positive person.
Exactly. Well, you've got it going for you, brother. You got it going. Now I know we touched on it, but maybe it's something else. But what's one TopStep rule has helped you the most?
Position size. I would say the max amount of contracts to trade. Because again, like one of my weaknesses was the amount of, or the position, learning like what position size I need to stay at. And that is what's helped me tremendously. I say again, as far as like the emotional side, like I've always been pretty good at handling my emotions and things like this, but position size was my weakness. And so having that rule set to where I can trade X amount of contracts has helped me.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, besides trading, you got hobbies, collections, sports, music. What do you got going on besides trading?
Well, I'm a big, like I said, I'm a big hustler. You know, I always like learning new things, and I have, I do a lot of video work as well. That I help some of my own clients in their marketing efforts and advertising efforts, and I create their videos for advertising. So it's something I've always enjoyed doing. My fun time is working for me. That's kind of just where I sit mentally. I enjoy working. It's something I've always enjoyed doing. I don't know. I've always been a hustler. But I would say on the times that I'm not working, I love gaming. I'm a big gamer. I love to sit I have a two PC setup here. One of them is my game. One of them is my gaming PC that I love the game on. So I don't know, on my free time when I'm not working or not grinding out there, it's I'll spend it gaming.
All right, Joey. Joey, it's time for that fun question that everybody loves to hear and loves to answer. Being such a positive, good-looking guy you are, Hollywood has contacted you. Okay. Joey, we want to make a movie about your life. Okay. Now, Joe, who would you want to star as you, and what would the name of the movie be? Hollywood, it's going to be a big movie, big.
That is a good question. I gotta say that I like Leonardo DiCaprio starring.
All right. We're going to give Leonardo a call, and he's going to be happy to take that role. Now, what's the name of the movie?
Name of the movie. This is a tough one. This is a tough question. I don't know. That's a really hard question.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's all right, though. That's all right. We'll talk to the producers, and I'll give a call to the director, and we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, we'll keep Leonardo DiCaprio as a star, and he can play me. We'll have to brainstorm on what we're going to call this movie.
All right. Joey, thank you very much. This has been honestly a wonderful interview, very informative, knowledgeable. I'm really hoping that everybody took some notes, and because you had some gold spots there that can really make a difference to a lot of traders. So, any last words before we say goodbye?
I would just say for all the newer traders out there that are trying to, if they're working towards a funded account or just trading in general, I can't stress enough that there's no amount of money that you could not spend to help you reach your goal. Meaning, like, if you're full of ambition, that like this is a career path that you really want, and you have to want this. This is not. I wouldn't say this is a field that you just dabble in unsure. This is something that you really need and have to want in order to succeed. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself and becoming a better trader, because ultimately that's what's going to help push you forward. So the biggest thing you can do is invest in yourself, whether it's learning programs, investing into, things like TopStep and allowing them to help you become a better trader. The amount of money you put into yourself will come back to you in the end outside of all of this. So that's the only thing I would really say.
Fantastic. Thank you, Joey, for being with us here. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. I'm Eddie Horn. Stay focused, stay positive, trade well. Until we meet again, take care.